Welcome back to the KidMin Word. I'm Ryan Frank, and I am so glad that you're here with me today. It's Monday, which means somewhere out there you are staring at a coffee maker, wishing it would work faster. And I get it, okay? I brewed some coffee this morning, and it could not come fast enough. Mondays in kids ministry, they really do have a flavor of their own. Not quite the exhaustion of a Sunday night, but that low hum of, okay, what's this week going to throw at me? And maybe you're already thinking about curriculum or texting a volunteer who no-showed yesterday, or just trying to remember where you left your to-do list. Wherever you're at today, wherever you're starting this morning, I'm glad that you have carved out 5 minutes for this. So let's get into it. Last week, we left the church in a strange place in Acts chapter 5. Reverence and fear after Ananias and Sapphira, but also incredible growth, healings, and crowds pressing in just to be near the disciple or the apostles. And that kind of momentum does not go unnoticed, which is what we're going to see this week. We're in Acts chapter 5, beginning in verse number 17. It tells us that the high priests and the Sadducees were filled with jealousy over what God was doing. And so what did they do? They had the apostles arrested and thrown into jail. Case closed, right? Problem solved, threat contained. Not exactly. So let's read exactly what happened from Acts 5. And let's just read it right out of, let's start with verse number 18. They arrested the apostles and put them in public prison, but during the night, an angel of the Lord opened the prison doors and brought them out. What'd the angel say? Go and stand in the temple and speak to the people all the words of this life. Capital L, life, L-I-F-E. So during the night, an angel of the Lord opens the doors of the jail and lets them out. And here's the detail that I want you to sit with. The angel didn't tell them to run, hide, lay low for a while. The angel says to go to the temple. The very place where they had just been arrested, right? So what do? At daybreak, verse 21 says, they entered the temple and they began to teach. In the very place where they had just been arrested, they start teaching again. Now here's what gets me about this story every time I read it. You've got locked doors, guards, official order or orders from officials, from religious leaders. But none of it could contain what God had already put in motion. And I think a lot of us in children's ministry know a version of that feeling. Maybe it's a leadership team that doesn't get why what you do matters. Maybe it's the board, the elders, the pastor. Maybe it's a budget that got cut, or a room that you lost to another ministry, or a family that pulled their kids out over something that had absolutely nothing to do with you. Doors get shut on us all the time. But notice what the apostles didn't do. They didn't treat that locked door as the final word. They went right back to the mission in the same place with the same boldness, because the calling hadn't changed, just because the circumstances had gotten harder. And that's the invitation for you this week. Whatever door closed on you recently, a program, a partnership, a plan that you were excited about, it doesn't get to have the final say over your calling. You may need to walk back into a hard room, into a strained relationship, or a discouraging Monday like this one, and just keep showing up, keep loving those kids, keep leaning into the calling that God has placed on your life. The angel didn't remove the apostles from the fight. That angel sent them right back into it, freer and bolder than before. And I think that's often how God works with us too. He doesn't usually rescue us out of ministry. He rescues us for ministry. And I want to point out one more thing before we close, because it's easy to skip past. The angel gave them a very specific instruction. Go and stand in the temple. Not a different city, not a safer room, but the exact place where they had just been dragged out in chains. Sometimes the most faithful thing you can do isn't finding a fresh start somewhere easier. It's walking back into that same hallway, that same classroom, that same staff meeting where things went sideways, and just choosing to show up again. That takes more courage than starting over somewhere new, if we're really honest about it. So here's my encouragement as you start this week. Don't let a locked door convince you that the mission is over. Walk back in. Keep showing up. Keep teaching. Keep being you. We'll pick this story back up tomorrow when the guards show up for a very confusing morning. I'll see you then.